Mark Cuban, and other celebrities on her show that she dubbed the Really Good Podcast.
I think my mom named me after a lawyer, which I was kind of like...
It's crazy though, because when she was blowing up, like, I really, like, I understood it, but, like, I really, like, knew Funny Marco did that, you feel me? I ain't even gonna front. Word.
Rubbed me the wrong way.
Within a week of the Drake interview, Bobbi was being represented by one of the top talent agencies and getting mainstream publicity. For this reason, people began to call her an industry plant because the only content that she had made online before this was essentially a spoof of mommy blogger TikTok content, where she did garner millions of followers.
Yeah, that's one thing I can say though. Like, when you really, like, blow up, like, they really research your whole life. Like, bro. Like, the fact that people can make, like, these videos about you and these stories really be crazy to me.
Mainly moms all around the country who liked her sarcastic brand of humor.
There is nothing more embarrassing than walking around with one of these. Everyone knows how it got there. You know what you did.
She claims that she parlayed this TikTok career into another career in podcasting after she offered her followers $300 if they could get a celebrity to come onto her podcast.
What?
It was like a finder's fee, right? You said if you can get a celebrity, I will pay you $300.
Yeah.
She says that this offer led to the episode with Funny Marco, which would in turn lead to her being in bed with Drake. You can picture her to be like a slightly more successful Hawk Tuah girl. To me, their careers actually draw a lot of parallels to each other. But one had to tell the world her methods for sucking dudes off before she got thrown into the belly of the industry matrix. You know, they both had that type of lightning in a bottle rise to fame that left onlookers saying, damn, this world is getting really up. But to be fair to Bobbi, she does seem a lot more intelligent than Hawk Tuah.
I think so too. I ain't gonna front. She definitely more intelligent.
Say it aggressive, like Hawk
Whatever.
I don't even know who that other person is.
Anywho, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
I guess she's still asleep. And with Bobbi having such an astronomical rise to fame in such a short period of time, and the fact that most people felt like she was directly biting her entire deadpan...
Like, what's a short period of time though? Because I feel like once you start blowing up, like, you feel me, within that 6 months to a year, like, things is gonna be lit for you.
Meeting style from Funny Marco himself, she started to get a lot of ridicule. But to be pulling Drake is crazy. I don't think it helped that she missed her son's birthday party to be there in bed with Drake that day.
I flew all the way here.
You did. I really do appreciate
on my daughter's first birthday.
I wasn't gonna bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, why did you bring that up?
To be here.
Dark.
And Drake not even like eating it on. He just like, bro, what?
Yeah. Horrible parenting.
Something people thought was a joke at first, as it was her brand to be dry and sarcastic, but now it's been revealed that she was being totally serious. The other thing was, when she was doing these interviews, she would constantly be making passes at these men, asking them if they would sleep with her or if she was their type.
Am I your type?
Yo, why did I never seen?
Thank you.
He said I'll do
Would you date someone that looks like me?
Something that is not only strange to do as an interviewer, but also it got even more wild when people found out that she was still married. Strangely enough, the dude would actually file...
Bobbi Althoff, as most of you heard, Corey and I have filed for divorce. As sad as I am right now, I am so thankful for the first time I got to be his wife. Our girls are so lucky to have him as a father, and I am so lucky to be able to co-parent with such an incredible father person. While our relationship did not work out as a husband or wife, we will always be friends. And
for divorce the very same month the Drake podcast came out, which led to quite a bit of speculation online.
Like, why did you post that?
One thing I will say is that she was way ahead of her time when it came to the Drake mistreatment, deleting their interview right after it started going viral, and hating at his concert. But after a while, the sarcastic, too cool to care bit really got old, and she even got put in her place by rapper Offset, who let her know that she wasn't all that.
You wanted to be.
I definitely did see this one.
That shit, man. I honestly didn't even want to do this shit. I don't fucking do interviews.
This had me weak.
You already told me you looked me up. I'm walking out on bullshit. I'm fucking with you because they're making me.
As a matter of fact,
that had me so weak. I'm not even going to front.
Seasoning. You ain't got no seasoning, man. You like a plain piece of chicken just on the thing. You pull it off, and then you serve the dish. You need some motherfucking seasoning, man.
You can leave now.
This is my hotel. I paid for this motherfucker. You can leave now.
And Then
I don't think she was expecting that at all.
She went on a show with Keke Palmer, and right there she got accused of being an industry plant right to her face.
I know.
You're not an industry plant, right?
I am, but
you do feel kind of planty. We do have the same manager, so is this?
I know, isn't that crazy?
It feels a bit planty.
This is definitely
you got here in 5 minutes. It took me 20 years.
It has been a minute.
Like, what is an industry plant? Like, when people say that, like, what do they really mean?
Like, that is tied to someone else in the industry and uses those connections to capitalize, and they like have zero talent.
I'm not an anythinger. I don't have any talents.
She do look mad different.
And then people started to say that she was trying to manufacture moments. She had Ryan Garcia chasing her around the room like they were on the playground.
Oh yeah, he definitely crushed that.
He would later tweet out that they had this intimate situation after that was recorded, and she continued with this reputation that she had this intimate situation.
Kiss Bobby was cool, pretty good kisser. Bobbi Althoff.
Situation after that was recorded, and she continued with this reputation that she was kind of being bounced around the industry.
You got some close up?
I like to read people's messages, not get room for it.
Let me read your messages.
No. I don't like
I'll let you read one message if you let me read one message.
I delete all of my messages. Are you cleaning?
Damn.
I do. You don't? You keep your messages?
I delete my messages?
Yeah, you keep yours?
People that delete their messages are cheaters. I'm not a liar or a cheater. I hate liars.
And I feel like relevancy-wise, she kind of just came and went. And honestly, Hawk Tuah kind of took her spot online. Nowadays, Bobbi's channel and TikTok are mainly inactive, and the last couple of podcasts only garnered a small percentage of what she was averaging only a year ago.
Damn, that's
I actually
crazy.
put myself through absolute agony by watching over an hour of Bobbi being interviewed by Forbes and Wired magazine. Bobbi Althoff, the Deadpan podcast host America can't get enough of. Wow, a whopping 10K views.
Damn.
America just can't get enough. Obviously, her publicist got her this opportunity.
That's the worst, though. Because she probably made a lot of money, though.
So
she probably able to just branch off it. You know, she can get her little brand deals and stuff like that. So she good.
And both about Bobbi, for the good and the bad. And after listening to her come-up story actually doesn't sound that outrageous to me.
For a few years before, I was on TikTok just doing brand deals, posting.
But she is honestly just not very likable. Coming up, she claims that she was posting 5 to 10 TikToks per day for years, where she routinely raked in millions of views, followers, and hundreds of thousands of dollars per year.
But my goal for the first year of once I started getting views and getting followers was that every single day I had to have one video that I posted that got 1 million views. So I would keep trying and trying and trying.
Now, using the Wayback Machine, I can see that her numbers do pretty much align with her story, but I do still think that after the Drake podcast, they really tried to make her this big thing, and it just kind of burnt out and then fell flat on its face for the same reason that industry plants in the music sector never stay hot, because the fans they garner are so incredibly generic and fickle that they would just move on to the next trend like nothing. And one thing I did find very interesting in these interviews was the insistence that she has always been driven by wanting to be famous.
I've always wanted to act or have some type of leg in Hollywood, kind of. So I felt, my family always says that if anybody in our family was going to end up where I ended up, it would be me, because
you can't be mad at that.
And even more by wanting to be rich.
How'd you become an influencer or creator?
Just wanting to make money.
She even says that the only reason she did podcasting and TikTok
That's kind of crazy to say,
was
Bobbi.
because she saw how much money other people made doing it and got motivated.
Mentally decided that she made like at least $300 a year on her podcast alone, and I was like, that's what I need to do next. Like, I need a podcast.
And for someone who loves money so much, she seems incredibly lazy about her job. Multiple times she brags about the fact that she goes into her podcast doing little to zero research on her guest that day.
And what is your interviewing technique?
Just no research, show up, and ask questions. I was researching how he interviews people, and I was like, oh God, this is a lot of work. Let me just go in there and know nothing. It's so much work.
And keep in mind, she's doing this in the face of 2 career journalists who do not look very amused.
Yeah. Use a notebook just for show, because you kind of have it open with paper on top of it.
Yeah, Bobbi's definitely a
method. This is my method. I'm a journalist, so I have my method.
I was making around like $250 to $300 a year.
thousand.
Yeah.
From brand
deals on TikTok.
Wow.
And
hey, that's nice.
is great and all, but it's hard to come up with content with just me every day.
$250,000 a year as an annual income is great and all.
Yeah,
it is great.
That is nice.
Yeah, she's out here making $300,000.
That's nice. That's real nice. Don't sleep on that.
Per year, sound like a minimum wage job at Sonic, which I don't think is a winning strategy for gaining public
Sonic,
favor.
bro?
To me, above all else, it really just seems like there's really no passion in anything Bobbi does, and it's all strictly for the money or the clout, which in some fields can definitely work, but not in the entertainment industry.
I hope that I go from D-list to A-list. That's my goal in 10 years.
From D-list to A-list.
Yes.
She still insists over and over, though, that she would be fine going back to a job at Jersey Mike's.
I never really understood all these lists.
At the end of the day, if I had to go back and work at Jersey Mike's again to support myself, I'll make your sandwich for you.
Yeah, I'm calling absolute bullshit on that, okay? She wasn't even cool with $300,000. And during these interviews, both of the interviewers indirectly question her rise to fame and make allusions to the idea that someone in the background pulls a lot of strings for her.
What do you think is your appeal? Why do you think you became a thing?
I'm not sure.
Damn, that's what I be saying. That's crazy, bro.
Are you looking at me like that?
Some people really be wanting that and not even getting it. You getting it, you don't even know why you want it.
I was like, there's no way people actually think that. But then I realized, like, what people actually think.
I did my reading. They actually.
They really do, and I think that it makes sense. Like, from an outside looking in perspective, I can see why they would think that.
Basically, it seems like nobody's buying her story, and at one point, she even cries over the hate that she receives online.
They packed her up like that. It's kind of crazy, like.
It can be a little mean, but yeah, it doesn't bother me too much.
Other than that, when it comes to Bobbi, there were these pictures of men carrying her out of the club. Someone put together that she was allegedly dating this NFL player based on one of her posts, and then she got totally embarrassed when this dude did not want to claim her like that, denying the allegations on Twitter after they caught his ass in 4K. I mean, truly, there's nothing much worse than when you think you were in a full-blown relationship with someone, and it turns out they were hiding your ass the whole time or really don't want anything to do with you like that publicly. And so now she's been on TikTok crying.
Just like hard to imagine finding someone who is truly good for you. It's hard to imagine there's a world where there's like someone who's actually meant for you.
I mean, talk about it.
Your husband was meant for you. That's why you got married.
Turn of events. She was online talking about it's time for her hoe phase.
So what you doing for these 2 years? You gonna be a hoe?
I have to do a hoe?
Yeah.
Maybe I will.
I don't know, you said you married young and you have your 2 kids already and you're divorced. Isn't that what divorced people do after that?
Just sleep around and have fun.
And now she's recording herself tearing up on camera.
Wow, Bobbi, you went out sad like that? Are you shit?
Thanksgiving. And I think things moved really fast. I don't know. I thought it was fucking fate. Clearly it wasn't. It was really sweet.
Sure, you said I thought it was fate.
Which sometimes sucks. Sometimes it's like, fuck. I didn't want the bar to be raised at all. Dating is just hard, you guys. Like,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you, we don't care. I don't know. I always just think it's an interesting case study to see how these individuals fall out of favor with the public. For her and the Hawk Tuah girl, it was like trying to live in a house with no foundation, like that bitch is up on stilts. All it really takes is a little adversity to knock that shit down. And listen, guys, I truly think Drake owes this chick a room in his compound. Like, if he had not laid up with her in bed and put her on the map, this all likely would have never happened. Maybe Kendrick wouldn't even have dissed his ass. Maybe he was at home on his laptop and this is what sent him over the edge. He knew at this moment that Drake was not like him. In all seriousness, though, Bobbi seems alright. But as far as her maintaining a career online, I just don't really see the longevity here, given her motivations are all wrapped up in clout, material possessions, and greed.